Dude, now I going to tell how to find out area of different quadrilaterals. Here I going to start by telling it. You can take this one, that is square. If you take a square, how to find out area and perimeter of it. Here they have given all sides of the square as 1 unit. Now you can start to, this side length is 1 unit means you need to find out what's the perimeter, what's the area. Perimeter of square means it is 4 times of side length, that is 4 times of this is side length which is 1 unit. 4 times of 1 unit means you're going to get here as you're going to get here as 1 times of 4 4, so it's going to become 4 units. Now area of the square is side length square, so it's going to become, this is the side length 1 unit, so it becomes 1 square. 1 square means 1 times of 1, which remains as 1, so 1 square units is the area of the square. Let's take another square. In this square they have given all sides of the square as 2 units. When all sides of the square are 2 units, you need to find out, here the side length is 2 units. You need to find out what's the perimeter and what's the area. Perimeter of the square is 4 times of side length, that is 4 times of, this is the side length which is 2 units, so 4 times of 2 which becomes 8 units. 8 units is the perimeter or the boundary length of the square. Let's find out what's the area of the square. Area of the square you can take here as a square, or it is side length square. This is the side length 2 units, so it becomes 2 square. 2 square means 2 times of 2 which is 4, so it is 4 square units. Let's take one more square. Here in this square they have given all sides of the square as 5 units. When all sides are 5 units, you need to find out what the, this is a side length is 5 units. You need to find out what's the perimeter and what's the area of the square. Here perimeter of the square becomes 4 times of side length, so this one is 4 times of, this is the side length which is 5 units. 4 times of 5, 4 times of 5 is 20 units, so 20 units is the perimeter or boundary length of this square. Now let's find out what's the area. Area is side length square. Here the side length is 5 units, so it is 5 square. 5 square means you need to multiply 5 by itself. 5 times of 5 which is 25. So it is 25 square units is the area of the square. Let's take next one. That is in this square I going to take what is all the sides of this square as 7 units. When all the sides of this square as 7 units, you need to find out what's the area and what's the perimeter. Let's find them out. Here the side length is 7 units. The perimeter of the square you can do it easily. That is the same thing as 4 times of side length. Here it going to become 4 times of, this is the side length which is 7 units, so 4 times of 7 which is 28 units. So 28 units is the perimeter of this square. Now let's find out what's the area of the square. Area of the square is side length square. That means here this is the side length which is 7 units, so it becomes 7 square. 7 square means multiply 7 by itself. 7 times of 7 is 49 units, so 49 square units is the area of the square, means that's much space it occupies on square. Let's take next problem. That is, here they have given one more square. In this square all the sides of the square are 10 units. When all the sides are 10 units, the side length becomes 10 units. Here you need to find out the same what's the area and what's the perimeter of the square. Here the perimeter of the square is 4 times of side length, that is 4 times of, here the side length is 10 units, so 4 times of 10, which is 40 units. So 40 units is the, yes, this Gobinath, it's correct. And 40 units is the perimeter or boundary length. Area of the square is a square, so it going to become 10 square. 10 square means you need to multiply 10 by itself. 10 times of 10, which is 100. So 100 square units is the actual area of this square. Now I going to tell about rectangle. If you take any rectangles, in this rectangle they have given the two sides as 1 and 2 units. Here you need to find out same what's the perimeter and what's the area. In rectangle, one more interesting thing says opposite sides are equal. This side is 1 unit means even this side going to be 1 unit. This side is 2 units means opposite to this even this side going to be 2 units. Area of the rectangle will be length times of breadth. So it is 1 units. This is length times of breadth. So length is 1 units times of, this is breadth, which is 2 units. 1 times of 2, 1 times of 2 is 2. So 2 units is the perimeter. Now let's find out the 2 units, 2 square units is the area. Let's find out perimeter. Perimeter of rectangle is 2 times of length plus breadth. This is length and this is breadth. 2 times of this gives even these two sides. So we get complete perimeter of rectangle. That is 2 times of, here this is the length, which is 1 units and 2 units. So 2 times of 1 plus 2. 1 plus 2 is 3. So 2 times of 3, which becomes 6. 6 units is the perimeter of this rectangle. Let's take one more rectangle. Here they are giving out this side length as 1 unit and this side length as 3 units. Here also you need to find out what's the perimeter and what's the area of the rectangle. This side length is 1 unit means opposite to this is also 1 unit. This side length is 3 unit means opposite to this, that is also 3 units. Area of the rectangle is length times of breadth. That means here this is the length, which is 1 unit, times of this is the breadth, which is 3 units. 1 times of 3 is 3 units. So 3 square units is the area of this rectangle. Perimeter of this rectangle is 2 times of length plus breadth. So it going to become 2 times of, this is the length, which is 1 units, plus this is the breadth, which is 3 units. 1 plus 3. 1 plus 3 becomes 4. 4 times of 2, 8. 8 units is the complete boundary length or perimeter. Let's take one more rectangle. In this rectangle, you can take like this. That is, they have given in this rectangle as length is 1 unit and breadth is 5 units. Here also you need to find out perimeter, and unit means opposite to this, that is also 1 unit. This side length is 5 unit means opposite to this, that is also 5 units. Now you can find out what's the area. Area of the rectangle is length times of breadth. So it's going to become, this is the length, which is 1 unit, times of, this is the breadth, which is 5 units. 1 times of 5 is 5. So 5 square units is the area of this rectangle. And perimeter of this rectangle, you can find it out as 2 times of length plus breadth. That is, this is length plus breadth. 2 times of that gives complete perimeter of rectangle. So this is 2 times of, this is length, which is 1 units, plus this is breadth, which is 5 units. 1 plus 2 times of 6, 12 units is the perimeter or complete boundary length of this rectangle. Let's take one more rectangle. Here they have given in this rectangle, that is length as 1 unit and breadth as 7 units. Now you need to find out what's the perimeter and what's the area of the rectangle. Opposite sides in rectangle are equal, so this side is 1 unit, this side is also 1 unit, this side length is 7 units, opposite to this is also 7 units. Now you can find out area of the rectangle as length times of breadth. So it's going to become, this is the length which is 1 units times of, this is the breadth which is 7 units. 1 times of 7 is 7, so 7 square units is the area of this rectangle. Now perimeter of this rectangle is 2 times of length plus breadth. That means 2 times of, this is the length which is 1 units plus this is the breadth which is 7 units. 1 plus 7 becomes 8. 2 times of 8 is 16. 16 units is the perimeter or complete boundary length of this rectangle. Let's take final rectangle. In this rectangle, they have given this side length as 1 unit and this side length as 10 units. Now you need to find out what's the perimeter and what's the area even in this rectangle. So here opposite to this side also becomes 1 unit. This side is 10 units. Opposite to this, that's also 10 units. Let's find out area which is length times of breadth. Here this is the length which is 1 units times of, this is the breadth which is 10 units. 1 times of 10 is 10 units. So 10 square units is the area of this rectangle. Let's find out what's the perimeter. Perimeter of this rectangle, you can find it out as 2 times of length plus breadth. That means 2 times of, this is the length which is 1 units plus this is the breadth which is 10 units. 1 plus 10. 1 plus 10 becomes 11. 2 times of 11 is 22. 22 units is the complete perimeter of this rectangle. Now let's take parallelograms. If you take parallelograms, you can get in different way. They ask what's the area of parallelogram. Here the base length is 1 unit and even the perpendicular height going to become 1 unit. You need to find out what's the area of the parallelogram. Area of parallelogram can be written as base times of perpendicular height. Here the base will be 1 unit times of the perpendicular height going to be 1 unit. 1 times of 1 will become 1 unit. 1 square unit is the area of this parallelogram. Let's take next parallelogram. In this parallelogram, they have given the base length as 2 units and the perpendicular height as 1 unit. Now you need to find out area even here. Area of parallelogram is base times of perpendicular height. Here this is the base which is 2 units times of, this is the perpendicular height which is 1 unit. 2 times of 1 is 2. So 2 square units is the area of this parallelogram. Let's take one more parallelogram. Here you're going to get this one. The base length is 5 units and the perpendicular height is 1 unit. Here also you need to find out what's the area of this parallelogram. Area of even this parallelogram is base times of perpendicular height. Here this is the base which is 5 units times of, this is the perpendicular height which is 1 units. 5 times of 1 is 5. So 5 square units is the area of this parallelogram. Let's take one more parallelogram. And in this parallelogram, they have given the base length as 7 units and the perpendicular height as 1 unit. Here also, you need to find out what's the area of parallelogram. Area of this parallelogram also base times of perpendicular height. This is the base which is 7 units times of, this is the perpendicular height which is 1 units. 7 times of 1 is 7. So 7 square units is the area of this parallelogram. Let's take the final parallelogram. In this final parallelogram, they have given the base length as 10 units and the perpendicular height as 1 unit. You need to find out what's the area of this parallelogram. Area of even this parallelogram is base times of perpendicular height. So it's going to become, this is the base which is 10 units times of, this is the perpendicular height which is 1 unit. 10 times of 1 is 10 units. So 10 square units is the area of this parallelogram. Let's find out. I tell about next shape, which is rhombus. If you take any rhombus, all sides of the rhombus going to be equal. When all sides are equal, you need to find out what's the perimeter of the rhombus. They give the side length. You can do it out. Perimeter of rhombus is 4 times of side length, and 4 times of ear side length is 1 units. 4 times of 1 is 4 units. Bye.